Yeah, I didn't bring any props. Thanks, Sammy Joe. Appreciate that. All right, I'm Mike. I'm going to talk about my journey to be an NHL player. Is that how we do it, Chris? That's not how we do it. Exactly not how we do it. All right. I'm Mike Johnson. For this day, I'd be introduced. I went to Bowling Green State University. It is the Harvard or Stanford of the Midwest. That's what we call it, the graduates. I did graduate with a degree in finance. I was an academic All-American. I played hockey there for 4 years. I turned pro. I played in the NHL for 12 years, and now I talk about hockey on television. So a very diverse background. I look out here now, I see these kids, and I think, I'm not like any one of you guys when I was your age. I was such an average kid from Scarborough, not exceptional at anything to think about going to school in the States, chasing a dream, because I was just a regular guy. We had a superstar athlete in my family, maybe like Sammy Joe's. It's my sister. She's 2 years older than me. She was great at everything. She's out there right now, embarrassingly enough, with her superstar daughter as well. Hey, Jay. And so she, of course, received a soccer scholarship to play soccer down in Florida. So like any good little brother, I'm like, I can't let my sister do that and not me get a scholarship. So that was the reason I tried. That's why I tried to get a scholarship playing hockey, because my sister got one playing soccer. So in my grade 13 year in high school, and yes, there was grade 13 back then. I didn't go an extra year. It's just how it went. I thought, I have to play for a Tier 2 junior team around Toronto, because that's where you go to get a hockey scholarship. I'm from Scarborough, so I tried out for the Scarborough local team. That was cut. I tried out for Ajax. It was a bit close. Next closest one. That was cut. I tried out for Pickering. Cut. I tried out for Aurora. Amazingly, I made it, which says more about Aurora than me. We were not very good. So I started playing, go through the year. I'm doing okay, but the chance of me playing down in the States is probably not that great, because I'm not that great. That's fair. All-Star game comes around, and so this is a couple of themes that you'll hear in my little talk today. Being prepared and taking advantage of your opportunities, because you're not sure when the opportunities will come up. You may not even know they're there. But if you're prepared, you can make the most of them. So the All-Star game comes around in junior. My team gets to send 3 players. I'm not one of the 3, nor should I be. But one of the 3 was a 20-year-old student at York University who recognized that maybe I could gain something by going, so without being prompted, he offered up his spot to me, just because he's a good guy and didn't feel like going again. So I went. We lost 8-1, but I got an assist. I guess I was good enough. That was on Friday night. On Sunday, I played my next game with Aurora. I got my first and only hat trick of the whole year when every coach from the States were in town watching. I went home on Sunday night. I woke up sleeping in because I had a spare. And that Monday morning, I had multiple scholarship offers to play hockey down the States, just like that. Playing a game I wasn't even invited or supposed to be at. So now my recruitment and decision process was on. I didn't know what. My sister was down in Florida. I didn't know. We didn't know anything about American universities or where to go. So bit of advice, if you decide to go down this route, and we heard others talk about it, get as much information as you can. If you're allowed 5 visits, recruiting trips, take them all. Even if you don't know you want to go to Harvard or Stanford or Bowling Green, take them all just to reinforce the idea that where you want to go. Talk to the coaches, talk to the athletes, talk to the parents of the athletes, talk to the regular students, talk to whoever you can to get as much information so that when it comes time to make your decision, you can make the most informed one you can, because it's a pretty big one. You're setting off the direction of your life. So I decided to go down to Bowling Green, go there as completely a student first, athlete second. I was not much of a hockey player. I was only there to get a degree, to go take business school, and go get a job. Hockey was an afterthought. It was just a fun thing to do while I went to school. Bit of advice when you get to school, wherever school you go to, Canada, States, take the courses that will apply to a degree, hopefully your degree, if you know what it is. There's a lot of courses you can take to maybe keep you eligible, help your GPA. If you are talented enough to be in this room, if you are committed enough to be good at something, to think about doing it at the university level, you're talented and smart enough to succeed in the classroom. So I went to school called Bowling Green. There was legitimately a class in bowling that you could take. I may or may not have taken it. I'm not saying. It's a long time ago. But don't waste time taking classes that don't apply. Don't go to summer school. Don't go to a 5th year. Work at your school like you'd work at your sport or your acting or your singing or whatever it might be, because both are equally important. So I did that. I get off and running at Bowling Green. Hockey season starts 4 weeks in. Again, here's preparation and opportunity. I wasn't playing in the first game because, again, I wasn't very good. The weekend before the first game, one of my teammates had a little incident. Again, we won't talk about it. So he didn't get to play. My coach told me that the week of the first game, said, Mike, okay, you're playing now because Jeff can't go. That's the rules. I'm like, all right. I played the first game. I got 5 points. We won the game. I never sat out a game the rest of my 4 years at school. Preparation, opportunity, and I was off and running. My first year went okay. Not great, just okay, but I played in all the games. I had fun, learning, going to school, maturing, which is something I absolutely had to do on a lot of different levels when I got to university. Went home for the summer. My second year of eligibility for the NHL draft was there. I obviously wasn't drafted my first year. I don't blame the scouts. I wouldn't have drafted me either. Second year, I thought, well, maybe I might play every game, a pretty good school, decent year. I wasn't drafted again, which was fine because I didn't expect or even want to play hockey. I was just a student who happened to play hockey as well. Go back for my second year. We had a great year. We had a good team. I did much better. I was kind of a higher profile player. Didn't really think about playing pro sports again, though. I was just, not really on my radar for something I thought about was realistic. Finished that year, went home in the summer, actually worked in an office because I thought, I can't just train for sports because I'm not going to make a career out of sports. Worked in an office because I'm going to have a career in business. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I was planning to do. Go back for my third year. I broke my wrist that year. I missed 10 games. It was a bit of a disappointing year for me. Once again, reinforcing the good path I was on to get a degree because hockey as a career not really happening. My fourth year, I started doing very well. And it became apparent that, I'm going to probably be able to play professional hockey in some capacity, whether it's the minor leagues, whether it's Europe. But I'll probably play hockey for a year or two and then get on with the rest of my life. Kept doing well. It became apparent that I was probably going to be able to play maybe in the NHL. So finished my senior season. I was on track to graduate in my last semester, taking 4 classes. I only needed 4 to graduate. Played my last game in college at Bowling Green on a Friday night. We lost badly to Michigan. If there's a Michigan booth, feel free to rough it up a little bit. I still don't like them. I met with my family advisor, which is what they were called back then, and he became my agent. And we talked about it. He said, okay, you know what? Probably next week we'll decide where you want to go and you can get off playing pro career and we'll see where you end up. Fine. Went out Friday night as a grad, finished my college career. Had lots of fun with my friends, as you would do when you're 21 years old. Woke up to a phone call early the next morning. Saturday morning, 7 a.m. I might have been asleep for 2 hours. It's my agent. Mike, Toronto wants to sign you. The Toronto Maple Leafs. Jets. Right. Toronto Maple Leafs want to sign you. They want you to go to Tampa today and play tomorrow. I'm like, what? I'm trying to sleep in here, man. Come on. So, of course, no more sleep. I scramble, call my family, call my coaches, call my teachers, and try to set up leaving school. So I still had about 6-7 weeks left to graduate, which was important because hockey was not a realistic option. So jump on the plane, go down to Tampa, play the next day. Wendell Clark's my line mate. We win the game. I get an assist. I get cut for 10 stitches. I'm like, all right, this is easy. I'm set. NHL, no problem whatsoever. Next game, come back home to Toronto. We play against Philadelphia. Eric Lindros is in his heyday, Legion of Doom line. I have about 100 people at the game. They're thinking I'm going to get a hat trick. I don't know if I touched the puck once. It was embarrassing. They had 6 goals. I was -5. It was an awful game. I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I should think about this degree after all because the NHL is not quite as easy as we thought it was going to be. So now I'm off and running, but the degree is still out there. I want to finish, and I don't want to go to summer school. I don't want to have to go back and live in Bowling Green in the summer. I want to finish with my classmates as I plan to. So I played 5 weeks in the NHL. Played 13 games, had some good moments, had some not so good moments. And after my season was done on a Saturday night here, played at Maple Leaf Gardens, I drove back to Bowling Green Sunday afternoon, walked back into my economics class on Monday morning. I sit down beside my lab partner, who obviously is not a sports fan, and he looks at me, he's like, ooh, you skipped a lot of classes. I'm like, well, hey, I was busy. And I went to school for 3 weeks, took my final exams, graduated with honors, with my class, my parents, maybe my sister, I can't remember if she came, probably not. They're all there, and that part of my journey was complete, which was important. Because even though I'd played in the NHL for 13 games, there's no guarantee that I'd play another 15. They had no guarantee I'd make it the team the next year. There's no guarantee of anything. And I think that was the value to me in going to school. Because if it doesn't work out, and I certainly didn't even approach going to school with the plan of playing in the NHL or playing hockey, if it didn't work out, then I could do what I wanted to do, which was go work in Wall Street or Bay Street or whatever. Because that was the plan that I thought I was pursuing. Now, it did work out. I made the Leafs the next year. I led all rookies in scoring. I played 12 years in the NHL. I represented Canada once at the World Championship. We also came fourth. It was not very fun. But it was a great career. I retired, and then I was, again, going to finally use my degree. I was looking forward to using my degree. I wanted to see if I could succeed at what I always planned on doing in my life, which was not sports, but was business. Unfortunately for you guys, I got into media, so now I talk all the time, and I never quite have applied that degree the way I thought. But I know, and I knew then, I know now, if it didn't work out, if it doesn't work out, if there's a change of plans, I have it, and I'll use it. And I look forward to the challenge of trying to use it. That was my journey. It's not like you guys. You guys are here for a reason, because you're interested, you're exceptional, you're smart, you're talented. I was none of those things. But what college is great for, especially American colleges, is it gives you time. Time to grow, time to mature, time to figure yourself out, whether it's school, whether it's acting, singing, dancing, sports, whatever it might be, and lets you find the path that you're supposed to be on. So it worked for me. I hope it works for you. Thanks for your time. I'm over there as well. Don't ask me about the Winnipeg Jets. Don't ask me when the Leafs are winning the Stanley Cup. Don't ask me if Austin Matthews and Mike Babcock get along. Other than that, ask me anything you want. All right, thanks.